Welcome to Driveway Garage. Today I'm working on my Sunsetter motorized awning for the side of my house. I got it for free and the awning is kind of rough, so I'm going to replace it. I'm just going to show you what I've done so far and something that I learned from another video. Let me flip this around. So I've got my awning out here on my trailer. I thought it might be easier to work on here than wait till I have it hung on the house. Plus it'll be lighter to install. So I got it unrolled and it was easy because I'm working by myself, but I just walked back and forth. I would pause it in between. And what I've done is I've unwound it to the point where the awning slot where it goes in is up where I can get to it easily. And the other end of it is in this back slot. And I think I can just pull it out of here now. In order to get it to this point, I took the end cap off like this on the other end, and the valance just slid right out of there. And inside of the valance is this tubing, 16 feet long. And what I did is I hooked it into my vise. You could probably have somebody hold it with a pair of pliers, but I clamped this in. I exposed it on the valance, clamped it in there, walked out to the other end and pulled on it, and it just kind of slid out. There's a little friction, but it came out all right. So now I can slide in my new valance when I'm ready, and it'll just go in this end down here. And it'd probably be good. Either I'm going to have to lay it on the ground so I can slide it in easy, or get somebody to hold it. But the valance part goes into this slot. And as you can see, this is the part that holds the awning itself on. And it's old, it's stinky, and it's tearing. So my goal is just to grab this and start pulling on it. And hopefully this whole thing will slide out of this tube. And then this one will pull out at the same time. And I'll get this old awning off of here. I'm trying to decide if I want to put the new awning on now. It'd be the easiest. But it would be lighter if I wait and put this on the wall and then put the bracket on there. So I haven't made that final decision yet. One thing I did learn though is because I was trying to unroll it and would only go one direction. It has a remote control. If you have one of these, you probably already know that, but I got mine used and it didn't come with the remote. I called the guy up. He's like, oh yeah, it's hanging in the garage. So I got it and now it works, or it did work good. But when I went to unroll it, it would roll up tight, but it wouldn't unroll. So I took these two bolts out, and the motor just slides right out of this tube. And I took it to the workbench, and there's a little bolt here and a little bolt here. They're held on with Allen wrenches. It's probably about 3, maybe a 1/4 inch Allen, I'm not sure. And I took it apart, and inside of here there's like a red tab and a yellow tab, I think. And they're covered with a little safety plate. I maybe take it back off and show it to you a little bit. But anyway, those are manual stops. So what you do is when you get the awning out as far as you want, you set the one stop. And then the way you do that, you push it up till it clicks on both of them. You get it out to where you want it, you push it and it clicks again, and that'll set the outward stop so it won't just keep going. And then the same thing with the other one. You get it wound in as far as you want, you push and click it, and it sets a couple sensors in there so that when it gets so much pressure on it, it just shuts it off. So let me get back to this and see if I can get this awning pulled out of here. I don't think it's going to be too bad. It's just slipped into this little groove right here. This is separate from that little piece of plastic. You see that slides inside of the awning, and that's what keeps it inside of here. But they sent me new tubing. This is my new awning. Came from a company called Lico. I think I paid $70 for the awning. The shade, which is 16 by 10, and the new valance, and it came with new tubing. So I'm going to go ahead and use that just so it lasts a long time. Let me get back to this, and hopefully it won't shut off. It'll just pause. Well, it came off of there surprisingly easy. I just pulled on it and walked it all the way off. Now I took that piece of tubing, clamped it into my vise, and I'm going to see if I can grab the awning here and just pull it off of that tubing. This might be a two-handed job. We will find out here. See how stuck in there it is. Now I'm going to have to expose more of the... I'm going to have to expose more and get it in the clamp more. Hang on. Well, I pulled that back a little bit. Got a couple inches in the vise there. Maybe it'll hold this time. Boy, that awning smells mildewy. I'm glad I'm replacing it. I wouldn't want to smell that every time I... Yeah, you know what? I don't think that's just going to pull out of there. It's kind of... Oh, here it comes. She's coming off now. Or is it just stretching? Doesn't seem to be coming off this end, but it's coming out of the middle. Let me work on this a little bit more. So it was just stuck here at the end a little bit. So I pulled it apart. The threads are kind of rotten. And now it's coming right off of there. I can just walk it back and walk it back there. Now my old awning is off, and I don't think I'm going to need them, but I did save the two pieces of tubing. They might come handy for something. They're 16 feet long. If all else fails, I might use them again to save the new ones or something else. Anyway, that's how you pull your awning off. It was kind of easy. I think with my wife and son's help, I can get the new one slid back into place and wind it up. And it'll be easier than trying to put it on later when it's up on the wall. And it doesn't weigh that much, maybe 10, 20 pounds. I'll maybe do a part 2 or something about how to take this apart, and those on-off switches in there are the sets for stop and go. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope this helped somebody. I know the other guy's video helped me, because I pushed the buttons in to reset them, and then I could get my motor to turn like it was supposed to, because otherwise I wasn't able to unwind it. Well, catch you on the next video. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe.